So you know about the rabbit caught in the headlights, right? So I'm going to start a few posts that are to do with things that I've read in the books that I've got. And this is something I saved from, I don't know whether you see this backwards or not, Why Women Are Blamed for Everything. Jessica Taylor, Dr. Jessica Taylor. And I'm sorry to come in on this topic, but it's a no holds barred kind of book. And she talks about rape. I'm going to talk about rape. That a common response is just to freeze. And then when you get to court, that's not seen in a good light. That's the issue the reason that she brings it up. But the freeze response is obviously, I guess, I was going to say mammalian, but birds do it as well in a big way, don't they? So, and actually insects do it as well. So it's quite innate, because clearly hunters look for movement. And so you can kind of switch them off. And they could sometimes not see you if you're not moving. So it's quite a really basic thing. But she says that 42% of all women who were raped experience a complete freeze response during their rape. And more recent research found over 70% of women who were raped freeze during the attack. So it's clearly in us as a response to something clearly very traumatic. But then if we relate it to the fact that we are in a tumultuous time at the moment, whether we are in a small way freezing, I don't know whether you can freeze in a small way, trying to keep our heads down, trying to not be noticed, those kinds of things. And then you can go off, and I wouldn't like to speculate on whether that's being brought upon us by design. I've certainly read things that are like, okay, if you get into power and you blizzard, then nobody knows what to hit at first. So it could easily be part of a strategy. So what I've been doing for actually quite a long while now is trying to simplify and trying to cut out things. And I was really strong watcher of Channel 4 News for years. Dinner was timed around it, and we watched the Channel 4 News. And but I think we are able, with today's technology, to experience the trauma of things happening very far away, war and famine and floods and disasters and things. And it has to have an effect on us. We've got very big screens, we've got subwoofers that make it more than it even would be if we were there. And so a news report is a series of these incredibly tragic events. And so we cut out the news. And now I get like a text summary of what's happened. And I subscribed to The Economist for a kind of an overview. So I don't advocate not knowing what's going on in the world, but the thing that's come to me recently is that we were watching Netflix. We had a Netflix account, and I didn't want to watch. I'm not really big on action films, and I wanted to watch something with depth and meaning, and so we ended up watching quite traumatic, again, films, and it's the same thing. It's like an emotional roller coaster, because that's the narrative line that keeps you going through a film. Oh no, this terrible thing's happened. What are they going to do? Oh no, they've reached the pit of despair. How terrible, and it's obviously designed to draw you in, the music and everything. And one response to this is, I am growing old, and actually it's all a bit much. And so what we've decided to do instead of watching a film or a series, I mean, watch the first episode of Black Mirror, the new series, and I just thought that is just reality, and it's so close to, it's such a traumatic thing, but it's too close to home. And so I'm not going to watch another Black Mirror. It's too upsetting. And so what we decided to do is do art in the evening. Now, I'm not artist. I am autistic. I'm not artistic. Apart from being a drummer, and apart from being a songwriter, and apart from being a beatboxer, what else? Apart from cooking all the food, I'm not artistic. My partner is a lot more, but is ill with ME/CFS. But we're having these moments. I'm learning guitar, learning to improvise on guitar in the evening, and she does watercolor exercises, and it's beautiful. And so that's the point, that art gives us respite. You know this, but it's a message that can kind of come out, that obviously doing art is respite, but also owning art and reflecting on art can give us respite from such a traumatic reality that we live in. So that's what I kind of got out of this one paragraph in this amazing book. So stay safe, sell your art.